Hello, this is Brian Hanley, back again at Big B Sports Talk Podcast. So, let's just flip some things. I know we've had a couple of serious topics, or at least the last one was. Let's talk about the Olympics and what the Olympics means to me, you, everybody. Now, the Olympics comes around once every 4 years. And a lot of things, sometimes there's buildup, like an election maybe once every 4 years or every 2 years. And then sometimes there's a buildup to it. Well, there's really not that much of a buildup for the Olympics. For it to be such a broad and ginormous event, there's not, and all over the world. I mean, it's not just here, it's all over the world. But there's not this huge build up to the Olympics. I mean, you might see an ad here or there. You might see, like on the Super Bowl, they may have an ad, but that's in January, and the Olympics is always in like June or July, mostly in August too. But it's not this tremendous build up to it, And then we have the trials start to come, and you would think something like the Olympics would have gigantic build up, but it doesn't. Having said that, though, everybody watches. Everybody watches. Olympics is, to me, it's great. I love when it comes around because in a normal year, I know this is kind of a COVID year, but in a normal year, I always call it the dead period between the end of the NBA and the beginning of football, because I just can't get into summer baseball. I just can't do it. As much as I want, the Mets are playing well. As much as I like to watch, I can't get into it. Just can't. So it's always the dead period. So for me, when the Olympics comes around, I'm like, okay, dead period cut short this year. And then usually it lasts a month, and it goes right into football, and boom, 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 football, your season, it's starting to kick off, and everything is great. Everything is great. But for me, the Olympics is, I love it. I love all of it. The crazy events. I wish the Olympics, now I know it wouldn't have the same, I don't know, the pizzazz or whatever, enthusiasm if it happened every year or maybe even every 2 years. It wouldn't be the same. So every 4 years, I think, is a good thing. I know it was 5 years because of this COVID, and they're probably going to pick it up in 2024, so it'll be 3. But it's, for me, the Olympics, I just love it. I love it. That was one of the things that me and my brother, we watch. And, of course, all the crazy events that would go on. I mean, like archery. Archery is an Olympic event. Archery. When you think of Olympics, you're thinking, track and field and swimming and gymnastics and no, archery. You can win gold medal. And I like watching all of it. Like I'll watch the Taekwondo, the Greco-Roman wrestling. To me, the Olympics is more than just the 100-yard dash. It's more than that. For instance, in gymnastics, oh my goodness, how big is gymnastics in the Olympics? I mean, Simone Biles, I know I had an episode where we were talking about the greatest athletes, and I picked Usain Bolt. And he may be the great, but Simone Biles, I probably need to take a step back and say I was wrong. It should be Simone. I mean, she has never lost. Never. I mean, you think, hey, Michael Phelps, Brian, he's got all these gold medals, and he does, but he's lost a race. Every gold medal that he has isn't all gold. She doesn't have any bronze medals. She doesn't have a silver medal. Anything that she enters, she wins. And now she's trying stuff that nobody's ever tried before, that they can't literally do. And they're doing that, and she's getting these crazy scores, and people say, well, she's trying to show off. And like, she's not showing off. She's already done all this. She's got to do more. She's pushing herself to the limit. Gymnastics. Now, granted, a lot of people aren't tuning into gymnastics excuse me, on a daily basis. But for the most part, people are watching gymnastics when the Olympics come on. And that's why it always gets the primetime spots. The gymnastics, and that's what the big time at the sporting events. Like, they got rid of baseball altogether. But even soccer, which is tremendous all around the world, soccer's not getting the primetime spots. Now, granted, I know soccer matches are long, but gymnastics, always track and field. And I like how they separate it too. Like track and field, it's either track and field is first or gymnastics. And they break it up in sports. It's like gymnastics and swimming are like for 2 weeks, and then the last two, then you start the track and field events. I love how they do that. Love it. And I'm there for all of it. I am literally there for all of it. Track and field. I started watching that back when, I remember in 84, because we didn't have it in 80. So basically in 84 was the last time I can remember, the furthest back that I can remember as far as the Olympics is concerned. And I'm there for all of it. Carl Lewis, I remember him winning. I remember Carl Lewis just getting destroyed by Ben Johnson. Then come to find out Ben Johnson was juicing. And, oh, no, I wasn't juicing. Anybody could have seen something was going on. Have you ever seen Ben Johnson, his eyes during that time? If you just go back and you look at his eyes were yellow. Okay? Yellow. Now, again, I'm not an expert on steroids. I'm not an expert on the human eye. But I'm pretty sure when your eyes used to be white, for instance, like this Louisville Cardinal helmet, when your eye was this color, and now it's this color, I'm like, there's probably something going on there. And, of course, they knew immediately. They tested him. They throw his butt right out of there. Hey, man, you're juicing. Hey, okay, get up out of here. Oh, I never did. Yeah, you did. Okay, yeah, I did. Sorry. My eyes are yellow. Come on, bro. What? You got to take something that don't turn your eyes yellow. That's the first sign. But I'm fascinated about how hard. And then it's like the devastation. Like, you seen the guy that tore his hamstring trying to run the 800, and his dad helped him cross the finish line, ran out on the track and helped him cross the finish line. It's stuff like that. Or the person that falls, they've trained for 4 years, and this is their moment. And then they fall or false start, or they trip and fall. And I hate seeing, I'm just like, oh, my goodness, just the devastation of it all. But I'm there for all of it, man. The Olympics does it for me. And like I said, I like all the events. I like watching the basketball, but, it is what it is. If we don't win, it's because either we don't send our best or and basically it's that. We don't send our best. If we don't send our best, then we don't win. But if we do, U.S. is going to win, and it is what it is. But I like the 100. I like the 200, the 400, the 800. I like the steeplechase. Jump over them hurdles in that water and keep going. I really like the 1,500 meters, because that is a sprint. You would think, 1,500 meters, people are out there. No, those people are moving. They are moving. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, but what does the Olympics mean to everybody around the country, or around the world for that matter? It's a chance to root on for your country. This is the one time, in the previous episode we talked about race. This is the one time where race gets thrown out the window. And I love it, because it is America first when it comes to the Olympics. Everybody feels that way. I want the American to win, whether they're white, whether they're black, whether they're green, yellow, blue, or checkerboard. If they're the American, I want them to win. And for the most part, that's all that I see. You know, yes, there's going to be pockets of people that are going to do what they're going to do. But that's not what we're here to talk about today, Dag Nabbit. We're here to talk about positivity in the Olympics. And for the most part, it is USA, USA. And nothing takes a back seat to that. Nothing takes a back seat to it. And I don't think it should. I don't think it should take a back seat to it. I think it should be, root for your country. Root hard. Again, fanatic. Take it here. Take it there, man. Take it all the way. Just don't go over. Don't go over the top. We've talked about this. Don't go over the top. You know who I'm talking about. There's a few of you. You lean over the top, and I'm holding your leg, bring you back. Don't go over the top. But get all the way up there and hang out there. It's fun up there in that crazy town. I'm there with you. I am there with you in that crazy town. But that's why I like the Olympics, man. It is a month of just Katie bar the door sports, all different types, everybody trying to compete for the gold, trying to win the gold. That's what everybody's trying to do. Everybody's wanting to win for themselves, for their country. Is there anything more pure than the Olympics? Well, my question is, yeah, there is, because you know how many people cheat? Woo! And we will have a definite episode on cheating for sure. But that was a question that was posed to me is that, hey, talk about the Olympics, Brian, and how pure it is. Well, that's another story. I mean, we get countries banned from being able to participate because their entire fleet of athletes are cheating. Countries, no, you can't be in this. No, sorry. I mean, I get it. You need every single advantage to compete, but I mean, if you're going to cheat and you get caught, then it is what it is. I mean, but yeah, the Olympics is definitely not pure. It's not pure. Maybe it used to be. I don't know. I don't know if it ever has been, but it definitely is not pure. Fun, yes. Pure, nah. But that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't have to be pure. It doesn't have to be pure for us to enjoy it. I mean, heck, you can say the same thing about baseball. Baseball hadn't been pure ever. And yet people still watch. So it's okay that the Olympics isn't pure. Now, the difference between the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics, I'm not a Winter Olympics person. I mean, I'll watch the hockey, but the U.S. isn't the best. And there's my bias. I want us to have a chance. That's why the 1980 hockey team, it was such a dramatic victory because we aren't the best in hockey. And yet somehow we were able to beat two teams, especially the Russians. But, that were considered much better in hockey than the United States. And yet we were somehow able to win. But that's not our thing. But I am way more of and I probably should have specified that earlier, so I apologize. But yeah, much more of a Summer Olympics person than I am a Winter Olympics person. Winter Olympics, there's some stuff. I mean, you like to see the downhill. I mean, the figure skating is gigantic. I like to see that as well. Don't at me, by the way, because I like figure skating. Don't at me. I don't want to hear it. But yeah, it's just not enough stuff in Winter Olympics that I enjoy to really even pay that much attention to. I can't get into it. So it's not my thing. Summer Olympics, lots of things that I can get into. I mean, and again, you get down to the Summer Olympics. I mean, you talk about athletes and the best athletes. I mean, the heptathlon, it's hard. And the decathlon, those athletes, it's hard to say that they're not the best. I mean, because they are doing multiple things to show that they're the best. So there's just a lot of things as far as in the Olympics that you can grab a hold of, and it's at least the Summer Olympics for that matter, that you can grab a hold of and gravitate to that can hold your attention that wouldn't necessarily. A lot of different things like the Greco-Roman wrestling or the fencing. I love the fencing. You know, it's me and my brother. I used to want to try to do that to him all the time, and I think I may have done it one time, and he punched me in the face. That wasn't a good day. Yeah, I think I had a wiffle ball. I'm positive of it. I had a wiffle ball bat, and I was doing fencing, and I fenced him in the face with, if that's what you call it. I basically stabbed him in the face with the wiffle ball bat, and then a right cross, and then I don't remember a whole lot after that. That was not a good day for Brian Hanley. So I blame you, Olympics, for getting knocked out by my brother. That's your problem. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's the Olympics is just so good, so fun to just root. And when you get down to the track and field events, when it comes down to it, I mean, it's the best. It just is. You know, when you think Olympics, that's the first thing that you think of. You know, swimming is great. Not taken away from anything else. Swimming, gymnastics is always huge and gigantic. But for me, it's the track and field. It's track and field. High jump, long jump. You know, the thing that rubs me a little different about swimming, it seems like every Olympics, world records always get broken. Like every single Olympics, it's like every event, somebody's breaking the world record. I'm like, and I get people are getting stronger and faster. I go, but people aren't just always breaking the records in these other events. I mean, that's not always happening. You know, guys are good and guys are winning, and so maybe that throws me off is just, you know, especially like I said, with the swimming is because everything is a world record, which is exciting. Don't get me wrong. It's super exciting, but it's like, okay, well, and maybe they're just that dominant and maybe you get that much better with the suits and the techniques and all that good stuff. And maybe I'm just being stupid by not thinking that it's that exciting when people are breaking world records left and right every Olympics. I don't know. I'm going to say that it doesn't make me look stupid, but I just like, the track and field for me, and I think for a lot of people, is it. I mean, like the fastest man in the world, 100-meter dash. I mean, it's just something that's just, you know, I'm there for it. I am there for it. But I like all of it. I'll watch javelin throw, the hammer toss, shot put, the disc, pole vault. You know, the mile, the 2 mile, the 10,000 meter. I'm for all of it. All of the marathon. It's just the Olympics. I think it's something. How should I put this? The Olympics is something that the country can grab onto and hold up high and be proud of. And you can sometimes forget about some of the problems and the nonsense that goes on day-to-day life. To me, that's what sports does for me. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, we're all dealing, but we all have problems. We all have stuff that we're going through. For me, sports gives me that outlet. And the Olympics is the epitome of that outlet. And it's a month long because you can just stand up. We're America. I want everybody from America to win. I want them to win every single gold medal. Everyone. I like seeing the gold medal count or the medal count in general. I like to seeing us having the most. I don't like it if we don't. And that's one of the things that I think the Olympics gives to people. It gives them that sense of pride. It gives them that sense of, hey, we're America. We're okay. And yeah, I know I got to deal with this tomorrow, but tonight I'm going to watch this 100 meters and I'm going to feel good about it. Tonight I'm going to watch this gymnastics meet and I'm going to feel good about it. That's what I think the Olympics does. Definitely does that for me. I think that's what it does for a lot of people. Thank you guys for tuning in to this one. A little bit short but sweet. Short but sweet. Again, come to the website. Check us out. Main thing is shoot me some emails. Send me some emails. My email address is Kool-Aid Sports Network, and that's Kool-Aid, COOLAID LAID sportsnetwork at gmail.com. Shoot me some more emails. It's been a little low here the last couple of weeks. So keep shooting me those emails. Again, the podcast is anywhere that you get podcasts. Come to the YouTube channel. Subscribe and like. We're definitely on YouTube. YouTube is just Kool-Aid Sports. And you can type my name in, which is Brian Hanley. You can type that in, but definitely it's Kool-Aid Sports. Come to YouTube. Check us out. I appreciate it. Everything that you guys have done. This has been, it's been satisfying putting all this together and to keep doing these podcasts, man. I like it. So pretty soon I'm going to have a couple of people in the studio doing some, basically some debating. So I've got that on tap here. So, and we're going to pump those out as well. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys. And until next time. Oops.